Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Brady here with the Show Me Showcase. We got a couple of guests this week. We got Steve the General over here, my brother from another mother, same
What's
last
up, guys?
name, no relation that we're aware of. And we've got a special guest here. Dylan is joining us from down in nice and cool Albuquerque, New Mexico.
What's up,
Dylan,
Dylan?
welcome.
Hi guys, how's it going?
It's going fantastic, man.
Always good, dude. Bless.
Great to hear. Great to hear.
So we have Dylan on because we are super excited. We're bringing something that has not happened in what we understand over the last 20 years. There have really been almost no reptile shows down in New Mexico, and we've got one coming up in October. And Dylan's got a shop down there in Albuquerque, and he's been cool enough to help us with getting the word out, putting posters up, handing out flyers to folks. So we wanted to bring him on and thank him for that, and give him a chance to introduce himself to the Show Me crowd. So, Dylan, why don't you tell us a little about yourself, how you got into reptiles, and what you're doing down there in Albuquerque to further the mission?
Yeah, definitely. So I feel like kind of like everybody nowadays, I got into reptiles because of YouTube. Spent way too much time on the internet, and just kind of would spend hours watching videos specifically about tarantulas. I'm a big tarantula guy, so that's kind of where my heart lies. Love everything else too, but tarantulas are just they just hold a special place in my heart for me. I started when I was just like 15, 16, and I filled my bedroom up in my mom's house with probably 60 different species of tarantulas and a bearded dragon, couple different things. And from there, I kind of took the room and started the shop. And we started out with a couple shelves in like I think it was 2022. So we've been going 3 years now. We started out with like three shelves, and it was all my stuff and some feeders and a couple of enclosures and other reptiles that we purchased. And then from there, it's kind of just grown into a full shop. And now we stock tarantula cribs. We do bioactive enclosures. So we have the plants. We actually carry
I love
BioDude.
those.
Yeah, it's really nice. I can't recommend keeping your animals in bioactive enclosures enough. Um, but yeah, we work with BioDude, tarantula cribs. I am personally a little fanboy of Exoterra, so I like to do a lot of Exoterra stuff. And yeah, we're really excited for the show. Kind of like Brady was saying, we haven't had one since I could remember. I'm only 22, so um, haven't been around too long, but I haven't had a reptile show since I've been here. And I'm very excited for it because people always come in and ask me about if we have any shows, and I always have to recommend them to go to Pueblo or El Paso or Phoenix. And it's very exciting to actually have one here in state where people don't have to go very far.
Yeah, we are stoked for it. Obviously, it's kind of new territory, new part of the country for us. We are based out here, as everybody knows, out of St. Louis.
Yeah.
So we had previously kind of gotten all the way out to Utah and Boise, Idaho, and then just recently we kind of made the final last push to get us out there coast to coast. So we're going to be in Oregon next weekend for the first time,
Oh, that's
and then
awesome.
obviously October we're heading down to the Southwest there.
Yeah, we're very excited. I just did. I do a little bit of breeding here and there, but I try to stick with tarantulas just because that's where I like to be. So I've been doing some pairings and trying to get some more babies ready and getting everything ready for that show because we're hoping
Yeah.
it's going to be a big
So you
thing.
said you filled your whole room up. Did that freak your mom out at first, or was she good with that?
Yeah, it
I got the
definitely
question on
did.
that too.
Yeah, it definitely did. I just kind of started bringing stuff home at some point, and would hear it would take the repercussions of it instead of asking for permission. Um, but I always say my favorite part was like I was the oldest, so my room was always the first one to be given up. And once I got spiders and tarantulas in there, man, nobody wanted to sleep in that room. So it was perfect.
So I got a question on that because you said you had 60 species of tarantulas in that room.
Yeah.
Here's my question. How many species did you have before mom knew that you had tarantulas in the room?
Actually, surprisingly,
I know that there's
Yeah, it's actually I started with jumping spiders and stuff, and then I moved into tarantulas. So she knew I had tarantulas actually, surprisingly. The first one or two, I
Did
think
she
my
know?
first one was the Grammostola pulchra, and that one she was kind of okay with. And then after that, I just started bringing stuff home.
See, I think the jumping spiders are like the gateway species there. I'm like they're so adorable. Everybody's gonna like it.
Oh
I
man.
keep I keep Kenyan sand boas, and I feel like they're the same way on the snake side. Like it's that derpy little thing. It's too
They
adorable. You gotta love that, and
a
then
hundred
it's just gonna springboard you into more.
yeah, 100%. My girlfriend actually came into my shop and fell in love with a Kenyan because of how silly they look, and had to take it home. So, it was very yeah. Kenyans are definitely one of the jumping spiders of the snake world. They're yeah,
So
TikTok.
what? So what is the obviously without a lot of shows going on down there? What's kind of the lay of the land in the reptile and invertebrate world down there?
Yeah, I would say it's pretty um, lacking, I guess. I don't really see too much go on. I do know we have a lot of people on Facebook, so we have a lot of the like Facebook groups, and sometimes they'll do like little barbecues and stuff like that. But we're the only specialty store that does reptiles and stuff. There is the fish room. They do freshwater fish, and then there's a couple saltwater stores as well. But we're the only ones that do like reptiles and exotics that are above land.
Gotcha.
So it's not too big of a community, but we're definitely getting out there for sure. I feel like
I
more and
will
more
say, for
people.
what it's worth, though, we've noticed that the vendor side is picking up pretty good for the show.
Yeah,
I think we're up 40 tables reserved already. So with well over a month and month and a half to go. So we expect to still continue to see a lot more. That's just the people who've paid already completely to be registered. So um, mostly from New Mexico, but just from kind of all
that's
over New
awesome.
Mexico.
Yeah, that's awesome. Maybe that's kind of why I don't see as much of it. I do see a lot of crested gecko breeders, a lot of colubrid and ball python breeders. A couple, I shouldn't say a lot, but I bet you it's just because they're not necessarily in Albuquerque.
Yeah.
Uh,
Well, and
but
we think
Sure.
we kind of figured for this first show, New Mexico has some. I wouldn't say like rough or tough, rules and restrictions, on this type of stuff. But one of the things they do have is people bringing reptiles in from out of state.
yeah,
There's a form that they have to fill out, and it has to be turned in 14 days in advance, listing out the species that you're bringing, the sexes and quantities that you're bringing across the border. And
yeah,
if you don't get that to them 14 business days in advance, they tell you basically they're not going to approve it. So we're happy that we've got 40 plus tables already of people from New Mexico.
yeah.
And if we build this show, we know that in the future, people are going to go ahead and then put in the work to start bringing those around. Some people, a lot of times, first try, they don't want to go through the paperwork. But if they find out, hey, man, that show blew up last time, then they'll make the effort and put that work in.
Yeah,
Well,
totally. I
and it
I think. Sorry, Steve. Go ahead.
and it almost sounds like reptiles aren't getting quite as much exposure down in New Mexico from what you're saying.
Mhm.
What does it mean to you for Show Me to come in and open up a show? Because just like Brady said, it's lighting the fire.
Yeah, 100%.
Uh,
That's what I've been waiting for. I definitely think 20 years ago when Albuquerque wasn't as booming as it is now, it would have been a lot more hard to put in that much work to bring your reptiles to a show in Albuquerque. But now we have the
and
Netflix studios and we have a lot of things happening for Albuquerque that are kind of boosting us up and bringing a lot of people into the city. So I do think it's going to be a good head start, and people are going to be downtown seeing the signs and go check it out and find some species that they really like and want to get into. And even if they
sure,
don't purchase it at the show, they go online or come to us. Or I definitely think it's going to be a great thing for reptiles and the community here in Albuquerque. Even just people meeting breeders that are local to them. And I definitely like people coming to the store, but
right.
there's something special about going and seeing how they're bred and getting them from a breeder who's raised them from a baby.
Well,
Yeah, and
and
I
it's like you said, you like I don't know gecko breeders or whatever. They're
Uh-huh.
there, so
Yeah.
this is going to help build a community in an area that, it needs
Yeah.
some love. So I think it's super cool. I'm excited about it.
Oh yeah, I'm very excited. I'm going to be there early setting up, and I'm going to walk around and introduce myself to everybody and try to get some good breeders for our store, because we would definitely like to bring in more locally bred things as assumed to some wholesaler that we kind of purchase from,
Yeah, and that's awesome. And you said too, you
Sure.
were. I know you said you were making an investment to pick up some extra supplies, dry goods,
Mhm.
enclosures, and whatnot for this show.
Yeah.
So that way, people that are coming out, not only will they be able to find the reptiles that everybody's got, but you're going to be able to hook them up with, their enclosures, their bioactive supplies, that type of stuff.
Yeah, definitely. That's kind of our main focus, is making sure we bring all of the dry stuff. I think we will have at least one table of tarantulas too. I'm not sure about other reptiles. I don't really breed reptiles, so it's kind of more of a tarantula thing that I want to put out
No,
there.
ain't nothing
Um,
wrong with that. Bring what you specialize in, and
yeah,
let the other breeders focus on theirs.
exactly. That's exactly kind of my thoughts. So,
So,
some dry goods and maybe some tarantulas, but mainly the dry goods, and that makes us very excited to kind of just be a part of everything and help you guys out, and make sure that everybody
So
that comes can get an enclosure and that kind of stuff.
So Brady, you do a lot of the behind the scenes with that stuff. Do we have any plant vendors coming out?
we do actually. Let me call this list up here.
I see the name Dylan Predator and Prey Exotics, and
Yeah,
there's this guy that comes out to Springfield, Brady. We did that little vendor review on him, and he sells the carnivorous plants. Dude, they are wicked cool. The
yeah,
pitcher plants, obviously, uh, everybody knows about the fly traps, but dude, he had they were erupting. It wasn't two or three flies. It was them flies were in some deep shit.
Yeah, so I got this list up here. So we've got a little bit of variety coming. So I knew there was at least one. We've got a company called My Plant Addiction, Albuquerque, family-owned
Oh,
licensed nursery in Albuquerque, New Mexico, with a variety of indoor plants and specialized items. So they're coming. Mesquite Creek does a lot of driftwood products, hides and driftwoods for decorations. We've
solid.
got gecko cresties, um, got pythons, okay
There you
balls,
go, Dylan.
gemstone colubrids, desert edge exotics, specializing in geckos, king snakes, and corn snakes. So we've got a great variety of things with legs, things without legs, things with 8 legs.
yeah.
Yeah,
It's gonna be a good show. I'm very
all the
excited for
leg,
it.
dude. I I love it because that's a list of breeders that I'm not familiar with,
Yeah, it's
and
kind of
that's the
cool
thing
going
that I
into
love
this
the
new
most
part of
about
the
this.
country.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, that's the thing I love most about this community. You can think you know everybody, and maybe you need to go somewhere else real quick, and it's just crazy to walk through the door, and it's like, wait a second, this is different. I'm going to be able to walk around. Nobody knows who I am either. So I love it, dude. It keeps everything organic. I mean, Dylan, I told you before this, I was like, man, I hadn't got a chance to meet you. We're probably going to be boys from here on out, dude. So,
I hope
uh,
so. Yes,
I,
sir.
it's cool, man. It's cool.
I'm
Yeah, and
very
then
So,
excited.
so like you talk about unique, like the other thing that we have at the shows. One thing would show me is you may go to other shows and you may see some things that are totally off the wall that have nothing to do with the reptile show, like a chiropractor trying to sell you back adjustments, or some leaf guard gutter guy, window replacements. That's something that Mickey's always stuck to his guns on, and keep everything focused on it. But we do let people with like related artwork, photographers who work with reptiles and stuff. And
Yeah.
we've got a company called Real Nature Gifts that's coming in. They make real insect jewelry So they actually take ethically sourced insects and turn it into jewelry that you can wear. So that will
That's
be
very cool.
interesting to see that table.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, I've seen a couple vendors that do that, and there's some people out there with some craft, dude. My wife, I have bought $500 worth of butterfly earrings and necklaces and bracelets, and I mean, whatever. I'll just dork out. Those butterfly wings are dope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not a butterfly guy, so I don't know what all is out there, and I see it, and I'm like, damn, is that exotic as hell?
So there's one thing we found out. Obviously, when we're going into a new city, new area, we don't know the lay of the land, what's popular there. We found out, and we think this is going to be great because there will be so many extra people in town for this week. Albuquerque has a huge hot air balloon festival every year, and it's going to coincide with the weekend that we're there. It actually runs 2 weekends and the whole week in between. So they do like a full 9-day event from Saturday one week all the way through Sunday the next week of this giant hot air balloon festival. So all these people that will travel from everywhere around Albuquerque, Santa Fe, and that to come in for this balloon festival, you can only look at balloons for so long, and then you got to go see a snake, right? I'm like, that's how I look at it. And with it being, even though it's October, it's still going to be pretty warm down there. So they do a lot of the events apparently for the balloon festival in the morning, and then as the afternoon comes on. So we're going to look at ways that we can get out there, and maybe Dylan, you may be able to help us. Maybe you've got an employee or friends or something that can get over there to that festival and hand out flyers. We'll send you some more, but I think that's a great opportunity. There's only so much you can look at one festival, and then you got to get across town and hit up the reptile show.
Yeah, no, totally. It's actually I think it's the world's largest balloon fiesta. So people come from all over the country. I've had people come in from different places in the world, even just for the festival. It's a pretty big, massive event, and I think it's going to help us out quite a bit, just with people looking for something to do when they're not at that.
And I will tell you, because I've had a couple of vendors bring it up already. If you are looking at getting into this show as a vendor, book your hotels now because they are filling up fast and going to be tough to find, obviously, with both of those events going on.
Yeah.
And there's not a better ticket price in town, and I don't care what is happening. I don't care if there's a hot dog fianza. It's not gonna matter, dude. The best pound for pound experience that you can get for bottom dollar. So for anybody that is coming out to the balloon festival, dude, you can bring the rest of the family, even though you traveled from all across the world, and it's probably going to be cheaper than dinner, guys. Let's just be serious. Come see some stuff that you guys don't get to see everywhere.
Yeah. Anybody, if you don't know and you haven't been to the Show Me Show before, general admission's $10. If the kids are 7 to 12, it's $5. If they're 6 and under, we let them in free because we want to foster the love for the next generation. Yeah. And then we give half off discounts from that for military, first responders, educators. And then we also, like, even better deal, VIP ticket, $15. You get entry 1 hour early from everybody else before general admission kicks in. And then you get free entry for day 2. And we also open that up. If anybody has disabilities, if you're in a wheelchair, if you have kids who are neurodivergent or autistic, we will give you the VIP ticket at the general admission price of $10, and that way you can come in when there's less of a crowd from 9 to 10 in the morning and get in there. We just something we kind of offer out there for the community that might be able to benefit from that.
And look, guys, here's what it is. When it comes to the VIP, you're going to come in. You're going to pay the $10 to get in Saturday. You're going to wander over to Dylan's table, and you're going to go home that night, and you're going to wish you had got that tarantula. And guess what? When you come back the next day, you're doubling up your price when you could shoot the moon that maybe nobody took home that one special thing that you lost sleep over, and you can get there first thing in the morning, beat the crowd, get in there, and get what you came to get because you slipped on the first chance. Don't sleep on the second one, man. It ain't third time's a charm when it's the right animal. Am I right?
Oh, very.
I've walked. I'm still having nightmares.
Yep.
Yeah, I've been wanting mint terribilis dart frogs for a while now, and I could have gotten them 6 months ago, but I said no. And here we
Yeah.
are.
Yeah. For anybody that's wondering, the time to do it is yesterday. Because it all comes down to the aging. So start right now, even if you're not ready, because you'll be happy you did in a year.
Yeah, it's a very rewarding hobby to get into for sure.
Well, what do you think, Steve? Should we pay a couple bills and throw the weekend roundup up there?
I think so, man. I think we'll hit it like this, Will.
Yeah, we're heading back into that busy season. We had our 1 month off, and now we're starting to kick into these weekends where you saw on there's four or five shows coming up next weekend already.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. And even more throughout September.
Yeah.
September's insane.
Dude, my eyes were crossing making all of those graphics for September.
Yeah. You did good though, man. You did good. So what? This coming up weekend, we've got Durham, North Carolina. We've got Colorado Springs, Colorado. Well, we got Nashville, Tennessee. And what's the fourth one, Brady?
The fourth one is Medford, Oregon. So we're going all the way from Tennessee.
Oregon, that's right.
We're going from Durham, North Carolina to Medford, Oregon in the same weekend.
It's
and
a fact.
spaced out in the middle.
It's a fact. Don't sleep on Show Me, guys. That's all I've got, Brady.
Yep.
I'm ready for this one right here, dude.
You know, I've actually never been to a reptile show myself, so I'm pretty pumped to go to this guy.
Oh, shit, that's awesome, man.
Even better.
Yeah, I'm
even better.
Very pumped. I'm really honestly hoping that it goes well enough that we can kind of invest a little bit and travel some more and get to some of the ones in Phoenix and all that kind of stuff. Because you guys have some killer stuff out there.
Yeah, well, that's what our hope is, to keep moving in that direction. And I mean, obviously, if it goes well and the crowds come out and people enjoy it and have a good time in Albuquerque, obviously we'll try to do a couple of them next year in Albuquerque. I think we already rebooked in the fall. Okay. I'm pretty sure we already rebooked 2026 in the fall, but we're going to look at a spring date too. And then, of course, we would love to get into Phoenix area, and maybe it makes sense to look at. There's Santa Fe. It's only hour and 15 minutes away, but it's a whole nother community up there.
Yeah, Santa Fe would be a good. They have a little pet store, Jurassic Pets, I believe, in Santa Fe, and I've heard it's done pretty well. But Santa Fe in general is a great area to travel to. I think it's just gotten like the best traveling spot in the country. So I think a lot of people would like that too. Get to see a really cool place and get to see some really cool reptiles all weekend.
Well, I've been to hundreds of reptile shows, and it all started with the Show Me Reptile Show. That was my first reptile show too, bro.
That's awesome.
You saw the beacon on the side of the highway, didn't you, Steve?
I did. You want to know the honesty of it is, I did actually see a sign off of the highway, and I was like, a reptile show? There's enough people that are into that? I can't remember what my agenda was that day, but I was like, I'm going in this building right now. The next exit, I pulled over, I went in. Oh, dude, I ain't been the same ever since, dude.
Yeah, now you have hundreds of them in your basement.
Hundreds. Dude, I have hundreds in my kitchen. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? It's funny. Everybody starts with it somewhere. Like, we had snakes when I was a kid. You know, my sister and her boyfriend had a couple just way back. I mean, this is like 45 years ago when reptile shows weren't a thing. But, you know, they had a wild caught, DK snake. They had a wild caught hognose and, black rat snake, whatever. But as an adult, when I decided I was going to get back into snakes, I just started looking, and I was looking online. I saw somebody on Craigslist, and this guy literally, he posted, I have 2 Kenyan sand boas for sale. My wife says they have to go today or she will burn the house down. I'm like, what? Like, so that's how I got my first 2 sand boas, because I was trying to save this dude from getting his house burned down.
My second snake that I picked up was an adult Cali King, a chocolate Cali King. This is when I got into reptiles again real heavy. I had kings and stuff when I was younger, but one at a time. So this was the second one, and I saw it on Craigslist, and the kid was going to college, and he couldn't take it, and Mom was like, I'm not dealing with this snake. And it had the most obnoxious Exoterra ever. It was one of the Exoterra XXLs. And that was my main reason. I was like, oh my gosh, that's like a zoo exhibit. So I went over, and this kid's mom was not playing. She's like, I don't know how much money he said you needed to give him for the snake, but just get it out of here. And I brought that thing home, and it was like a wall. And there was no place except for next to my wife's desk where she worked from home, and she wasn't a snake fan. Dude, when she walked in the house, I found the breaking point of the relationship. Yeah, it was.
That's pretty bad.
Well, hopefully since then that poor kid got out of his mom's house, and now he's got snakes again too. Well, he probably graduated college. Now that I start computing, unless he's a doctor or his mom's really upset about his college. It's had to have gotten expensive. He's got to be 8 years in at this point. Maybe he switched majors and he's a herpetologist now.
So, Brady, real quick, dude, tell everybody about this, man.
Oh, man. So, a lot of people, if they've been paying attention to our social media with Colubrid Fest coming up, we just did, once a year that Colubrid Fest rolls around, and we did some awards just to kind of honor people that have worked so hard, in the field of colubrids, behind the scenes, or in some cases, for, multiple decades to do what they've done. And people just went crazy wanting to get out there and honor and vote for those. So we are getting ready to do that for the entire reptile community. So we are taking nominations, putting together categories for the Keeper's Choice Awards coming up. And, more and more details will be posted on that as we go forward.
And from my understanding, there's at least 28. I think there's 29 categories. And it ranges, it's all across the board, dude. So go out there, nominate your champions, throw a name up, man, and just support your people. It's not just show me people. This is open to anybody. Like Brady said, it hasn't dropped yet, but we are starting to stoke the fires, because real excited to see how this turns out, dude. I really am. I think that's awesome. And I believe there's going to actually be some awards that Mickey's talking about submitting out to these people. I know for me, as cheesy as it sounds for me, I would think it would be such an honor. So, I've got to believe that other people would like a plaque too, or whatever. So, yeah. I think that's super, super awesome. And get out there and vote. We'll definitely let you know when it's time.
Well, as we know, the funny thing is, I think people winning these awards mattered more to the people who were mentored by the winners than to the winners themselves. Because the people who've done, somebody who's worked with king snakes for 40 years, the plaque may not be the motivator for them, but there's a whole chain of people that learned how to take care of those colubrids from those keepers, and they're the ones who really wanted to pay homage to the to the people that essentially pioneered. I mean, if you go back 40 years, there was no reptile community. You had some strange people that kept snakes in their basement, but
well, and the funny thing about that, Brady, real talk, with the Colubrid Fest Awards, 30, 40 years, there was quite a few guys in there that had that in their belt.
Yeah.
And I spent a lot of time, because I did little reels and everything for everybody, so I was communicating back and forth with them. Most of them were just, I don't understand why I was nominated. Like, there wasn't that ego.
Yeah.
Like kind of like what you said. I guess they wouldn't need the plaque. I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, but imagine all the years of trial and error that they had to put into things. Right now, all I got to do is say, like, oh, I got some eggs from this snake. I have no idea what I need to do to them. I can go to Google, and in 5 minutes, I can find out what humidity I need to be, what temperature range it needs to be. And it's amazing. Like, Steve, ball pythons too. It's unbelievable how accurate it is. If you incubate at 86.8 degrees, you can guarantee that it's somewhere between whatever this date, 48 days and 52 days, and like religion, they will start pipping in that 4-day range every single time. But that didn't just happen overnight. That came from these guys experimenting with all different types of substrates and temperatures, and how do I build an incubator, and does it need light, does it not need light?
Yep. And on your balls, guys, shoot for the Great 88, coming straight from the General. The Great 88, 60 days, they're pipping. You don't have to cut. If you want to cut, wait till the first one pops its turkey button out, because you know that the oven is done. That's the advice from the General firsthand.
Yeah, but I noticed, like, on any of the ball pythons I've hatched, it literally it's within 2 days, one way or the other, of that window every single time.
It's almost every time, dude. Almost every time. And you're better just to set it and forget it. You can overlove your eggs so hardcore. But that's a totally different show. We're getting ready to start a whole other show, dude. That's all I've got, Brady. I feel like this was great. Dylan, it was awesome to get a chance to meet you, dude. Hopefully I get a chance to shoot down to New Mexico. If I don't make this show, rest assured, it'll be coming back again, and eventually I'm going to slide through the door, and we'll go do something cool outside of the show or whatever, man. We'll get some time.
Sounds great, man. I'd love to get to meet everybody. For sure.
So I'm gonna back out, Brady. Thanks for having me on, letting me chit chat with you guys. Always a pleasure, and I will see everybody in the field.
Awesome.
All right, Dylan. Well, we'll wrap it up here. But I really do appreciate you giving us some time, and again, thank you so much on behalf of Show Me for helping to promote it down there. We're happy and excited to bring it there, but we need boots on the ground in every city that can drum it up and get the word out, because we want it to be as successful as possible, so that there's a reason to grow it, to do it more frequently, and to do it in more locations.
Yeah, 100%. I look forward to it, and I'm very happy to be a part of it, man. Thank you for the opportunity.
All right. Thanks, man. Have a great week, and we'll talk to you again soon.
Yeah, thanks for having me on.
Thank you, guys. Have a good one.
Thanks for tuning in to the Show Me Reptile Show podcast. Remember to subscribe, leave us a comment, and tune in for more amazing reptile content soon. Until next time, stay curious, love your animals, and respect one another.